Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, May 16, 2022. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark is appealing to public sector workers to exercise patience and calmness as stakeholders work to complete the compensation restructuring for central government within the next 6 months. In a message broadcast last evening, Dr. Clark urged restraint against further industrial action, which could interrupt and reverse the country's economic recovery if services were disrupted.
Such a reversal would set Jamaica back tremendously, costing jobs. This would negatively impact us all, from the decline in government revenues that would follow and the cuts in budgetary expenditure that would then become necessary. Jamaica cannot afford this. On behalf of all Jamaicans, therefore, I appeal to all public sector employees for patience and for calm.
He also gave an assurance that no public sector employee would be worse off at the end of the process.
We are aware that in any set of proposals designed to cover 110,000 public sector employees, there could be cases where the proposed changes lead to less net pay. What the assurance instead means, however, is that wherever through reasoned, objective, and data-driven feedback, it can be proven that someone would indeed be worse off, we will work to find a fix.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is also assuring public sector workers that the compensation restructuring exercise will be fair and equitable. While addressing a recent function, he said government was committed to a process that would see public sector workers getting their fair share of the country's prosperity.
There is no need for any type of action that will dislocate the state, dislocate the growth, the resurgence, the recovery which is underway. I urge reason. This is not an unwilling and uncaring government.
In other news, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie says the newly opened multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art Montego Bay Fire Station is a game-changer for the Jamaica Fire Brigade. The station was completed under the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JIS's Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Program.
It is also designed to ensure that the more than 200,000 residents, business owners, and others that are in the capture area of this fire station can be better protected by having the capacity right here on Barnett Street to respond to disasters.
The facility houses a high-tech gym, offices, dormitory, and accommodation for over 170 firefighters. During Friday's opening ceremony, Minister McKenzie said it represented government's commitment to improve the working conditions of firefighters.
This administration is committed in ensuring that the men and women of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, and I want to commend them for working in conditions that demonstrate their ability and commitment and loyalty to the job.
In related news, ground will soon be broken for the construction of a new fire station in Ulster Spring, Trelawney.
We are going to be breaking grounds in another 3 weeks for the construction of a brand new facility in Ulster Spring in Trelawney. Balaclava in St. Elizabeth will be our next location, and we will be opening shortly not one, but 2 brand new facilities in Port Maria, in St. Mary, and in Yallas, in St. Thomas.
Minister McKenzie has also announced plans to upgrade the existing fire station in Montego Bay to provide proper working environment for firefighters attached to the division. Make Jamaica Crisp and Clean is the slogan for this year's Labor Day activities, which will focus on the protection of our heritage and environment under the broad Jamaica 60 theme, Reigniting a Nation for Greatness. In keeping with that focus, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, is urging the country to prepare for the Jamaica 60 Jubilee celebrations by cleaning up and beautifying communities, landmarks and public spaces. The National Labor Day project will be the renovation of Mandela Park in Halfway Tree. Prime Minister Andrew Holness will spearhead the national project, which will involve landscaping, masonry, carpentry, painting, electrical works, lighting, as well as disinfecting and sanitizing.
And don't make this any ordinary cleanup like we have done in the past. This must be a special. Clean the corners, the crevice, the nook and the crannies. Get rid of the garbage. Protect your environment. And remember, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Labor Day wraps up Workers' Week activities, which kicks off on May 18th with the unveiling of the bust of Agnes Aggie Bernard at the Workers' Monument on Port Royal Street. The Workers' Week and Labor Day National Thanksgiving Church service will be held on Sunday, May 22 at the Emmanuel Apostolic Church. On Labor Day, May 23, floral tributes will be held at National Heroes Park in Kingston. And finally, a resounding 21-gun salute punctuated the air as Jamaica officially welcomed the President of the Republic of India, His Excellency the Honorable Ramnath Kovind, to the island on Sunday. President Kovind is paying a 4-day state visit to Jamaica. He was greeted at the Norman Manley International Airport by a delegation of state and government officials led by the Governor-General and Prime Minister. President Kovind was accompanied by First Lady Savita Kovind and other delegates from India. His visit coincides with Jamaica's 60th independence anniversary celebrations and also marks 60 years of diplomatic relations between Jamaica and India. On one of the first stops of his visit, the Indian president laid a wreath at the shrine of Jamaica's first national hero, Marcus Garvey. He's also scheduled to pay a courtesy call on the Governor-General and meet with Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as well as hold an engagement with the Indian community in Jamaica. President Kovind will leave Jamaica on Wednesday, May 18. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.